Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome for everybody that is new. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. What's happening to my shit? Hi guys, welcome back to hey guys, welcome back if you're not new here, and welcome if you are new here. Hi, my name is Chitutu, and this is my channel where I make videos about lots of random stuff, but sometimes about motherhood stuff, and today we're talking about motherhood stuff. So in today's video I wanted to talk about breastfeeding. I have officially been breastfeeding for a year, guys. There is a reason why lactation specialists exist, because this is actually like a whole thing. Like, there's so much that is involved in making the milk, producing the milk, feeding the milk. Like, there's so much that goes on, and I just feel like, wow, you know, like, I didn't think it was that deep, but it's definitely that deep. Today's video I'm going to be talking about breastfeeding, and I'm going to share with you guys what I have learned so far from my 1 year experience of breastfeeding, and also yeah, what I've learned so far, and just basically how it has been for me. If anyone would have told me that, you know, I would breastfeed for a year, I would be like, in fact I wouldn't even answer, because I would be like, surely you don't know me, you don't know who I am, because I can't. And I've already done it now, and I'm just like, okay, this is you now. What do you have to say for yourself? Let's start from the beginning. My son has never had formula. Except at the hospital, where, like, when we were waiting for the milk to come in. So ever since then, it's either been breastfeeding, or I pump, I freeze, and he drinks the frozen milk from a bottle. Oh my gosh. Also, speaking about waiting for milk to come in, you guys, the first tears I ever cried as a mother were because of the milk coming in. It was the most painful experience of my life. I felt sick. I literally felt so sick, and I was calling the nurse, and I'm like, can you give me some medicine, can you give me something, because I can't sleep, I can't do anything, I'm sick right now, I'm really sick. And all they could do was give me a pump to, like, you know, help me to pump. And it was hell. It was the worst time of, not the worst, maybe I'm being a bit dramatic, but it was really bad. I really did not enjoy that moment, and really those were the first tears I ever cried as a mother. I was crying. I was just like, oh my god, this is so painful. It was horrible. Wait, like, with the actual process of the milk coming in, the actual time that happened, that was hell. But that pumping solution, it wasn't an instant fix. It still took some time for, you know, the pain to stop. It still took some time for the milk to just, I don't know, start working properly, for my breast to get the message that, okay, this is what's going on. It took some time. So the breast pumping wasn't an instant fix. However, I think it did help. It contributed to, you know, me feeling better in the end. And also about pumping, I think I only officially started pumping around maybe 3 months. Other than that, the milk was just literally dripping. So I used something called a haka, or I can't remember the other name, but yeah, I use something called a haka, and you just put it there, and it will collect everything that drips. And I would fill up the thing like this most of the time, which was also something very amazing to me, because I'm like, wow, even without putting in effort, it's just the body is so amazing, you guys. Ish. And you know, another thing I didn't actually realize is that I never considered not breastfeeding. I realize now that it's actually a thing to not breastfeed at all, like by choice, or even just because of circumstances. People don't breastfeed at all from the very beginning, and it never crossed my mind that, you know, I had the option, or it was an option to just not do it. So I guess that's how I found myself doing it, breastfeeding, because I just thought, I mean, it's the next step, you know what I mean? You have a baby, you breastfeed the baby, and then you go on from there, you know what I'm saying? However, I never considered the fact that you don't have to, or you might not be able to. And yeah, I guess that's one thing that, you know, that's one thing that I've learned, that you don't have to breastfeed. It's not a must, and it's not everybody that does it. And it's also normal. Like, breastfeeding is normal, and not breastfeeding is also normal. Altogether, this is just an accumulation of things that I have learned from beginning till now, and yeah, the things that I know. I think the most hectic part of breastfeeding was the beginning for me, and I would literally wake up in a puddle, like surrounding me. I don't even know how to explain this, guys, but literally I would always wake up in a puddle of my own milk, and I'm like, surely this is not real life, like surely this is not happening to me. I'd have to put a towel on the bed, like a hand towel, so that when I wake up I'm not swimming, I'm not, you know. And I really did not know that this was a thing, but it's a thing. At 3 months, I experienced something called a 3-month milk crisis, and I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was imagining things. I thought something was wrong, and I looked it up, and it turns out it's actually quite a common thing to go through a 3-month milk crisis. And it's basically where it kind of feels like, you know, you're not producing enough milk, and it's because your body is sort of regulating itself to changes in your baby and all that. So then it feels like, you know, there's a crisis of milk, and it's very, very normal. So if you are experiencing a 3-month milk crisis, just know that everything is fine. You are on the right track. So now I'm going to talk about, you know, how breastfeeding might affect you, yourself, your life, and all of those things. So the first thing is you might need to adjust your wardrobe. Everybody talks about a maternity wardrobe. Everybody talks about, you know, maternity dresses and all of those things, but for breastfeeding, depending on what you wear, what you usually wear, you might have to adjust your wardrobe. So for me, for example, I like to wear, I think they're called shift dresses, but they're basically like short, not short, but they're basically like, you know, short-ish like dresses, and they have no openings, they're just, you know, straight. So for breastfeeding, I couldn't necessarily continue to wear my regular outfit because I'm not going to pull up my whole dress to feed a baby, you know what I'm saying? It's impossible. It's impossible for me to start. And I also can't, I mean, let's say my dress is like this, I can't, there is no, you know what I'm saying? So I had to adjust my wardrobe quite a bit into wearing t-shirts and more button-up shirts like this one, which, oh guys, I'm so glad I'm actually getting out of the phase of having to wear things that I don't want to wear for the sake of me thinking of, like, you know, is it convenient? Will it be convenient for me to, you know, whip it out, you know, at home in public? You know, is it going to be convenient if I wear this outfit? I'm so glad I'm now getting to a stage where I can literally just wear what I want and not have to worry about the convenience of opening up my shirt and stuff like that. So yeah, you might have to change up your wardrobe a bit according to what you wear now. If you already wear such things, it won't really make much of a difference. Personally, even t-shirts, I was not necessarily a big fan of wearing a t-shirt, because if I wear a t-shirt, I still have to lift it up, and lifting it up will expose my stomach, and there's a lot going on with my stomach right now. That, in fact, not just right now, my stomach has been in shambles for months. I don't want to leave it exposed. I don't want to leave it outside. It makes me very uncomfortable trying to pull up a t-shirt. So I prefer shirts that are, you know, button up so I can unbutton, and that has been more comfortable for me. Also, things like nursing bras. Some people prefer not to use nursing bras because it just makes them feel like, you know, it just makes them feel away. However, I think nursing bras have helped me a lot. Yeah, I just found them more convenient rather than having bras with underwire and all of those things. You just literally snap the thing, and then yeah, it works. It works easier like that. So you might want to consider using a nursing bra. It will make your life easier, or for me, it has made my life easier. Some people find it easier to just wear a regular bra and carry on with their regular lives. Another thing, guys, it is totally normal for your breast to look uneven, and sometimes it's not even uneven in a small way. Literally, one will be like this and the other one will be like I don't even be like this, and the other one will be like this, in difference in size. Okay, might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's how it feels. It literally feels like one is like this and one is like this sometimes. So it's very possible, and it's very normal for your boobs to, you know, kind of like and the solution to this is just to like give both sides even attention, like breastfeed equally on both sides. However, I also found that even if for me personally, even if I did, you know, equal sides, like this time this side, this time this side, it still doesn't help. And the left side was always usually much bigger than the right side, and I think it's because milk is made out of blood and your heart is this side, so there's much more, I feel like there's more blood flow on the side where your heart is, and that's why I had more milk being produced on one side of my body than the other. And a lot of people from the internet, guys, because I'm always on the internet. A lot of people have said, you know, they have noticed that, you know, their left breast is usually more fuller than the right one when they are breastfeeding. And I think it's just because of, you know, the fact that this is where your heart is, and at the end of the day, milk comes from your blood. So one important thing that you have to notice is that breast milk will regulate itself on a supply and demand basis. So basically, when there is a lot of demand, when your baby is feeding a lot, your boobs will produce a lot of milk. When your baby is feeding less, your body will eventually regulate itself to produce less milk. So it is important to stay consistent in your feeding. For example, if you know, feed frequently for like 4 days, right, on the 5th day you go somewhere, like you're out the whole day and you're away from your baby, best believe you're going to feel like you have a headache on your chest, because like your boobs are like, well, you're missing all these feeding times, you know, this is the time to feed the baby. So where the milk is like literally just there, like it's just there, like this is how, okay, you know what, I know this is not how it is, but this is how it feels. It's literally just, you feel like you have a headache on your chest because it's just, it's too much. So it's important to stay consistent. If you're going to spend a day away, if you are already doing like very frequent feeding, it would be ideal to maybe carry a pump or something, so that you sort of keep your body on the same schedule as it has been. Essentially, when you skip a feed, pump. If you skip it, if you can, that is, if you will get a chance to, if you have the opportunity to, pump when you skip a feed. Because also, if you, or even just more than, you know, on one day, let's say you're away for a weekend or 3 days, and you know, at that point you stop pumping, or you stop breastfeeding and you stop pumping, by the time you're getting back to the baby that is used to feeding frequently, your boobs would have regulated to producing less because they were not being emptied, you know what I'm saying? So then it will feel like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling to feed the baby again, but it's because your body has now regulated to producing less because you were away and you stopped. So it's important to stay consistent so that your body keeps, like, just for the sake of your body's, you know, sanity and your own, stay consistent so that you guys are both on the same page. On the topic of the supply of milk, your milk supply can go down when you are stressed. It can also go down when you are depressed, and it can also go down when you're on your period. So it's something to take note of when you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like, you know, the baby is getting enough to eat. Are you stressed? Are you depressed? Are you, you know, what's the other thing I said? Are you on your period? That could be something that is causing the milk to reduce or be less or something like that. Also, there's things like parsley. Apparently parsley reduces your milk supply. I learned this as well, and I just feel like it's so unnecessary that parsley has to do that to us. And why? Anyway, it's not like I eat a lot of parsley, but I just found it so irrelevant. I was like, guys, why would this small thing cause problems for women, as if we don't have enough problems? Why? As soon as you can, I think, as soon as your baby is able to handle sleeping through the night without eating, of which you can just Google when your child is old enough to do this, stop feeding in the night. Stop night feedings, because it's better for your mental health. Once you start sleeping at night, you will be a better person. Once you stop having to, I feel like feeding at night, guys, is one of the most stressful things I have ever experienced in my life, because where I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm awake, and it just makes me a less efficient mother, a less efficient member of society when I have not slept. So the sooner you can get off night feedings, or at least if you stop breastfeeding at night and then maybe formula feed at night, and then somebody else can do the formula feeding for you, at least you rest. So the sooner you can stop night feedings, the sooner your child allows you, and the sooner you also, you know, train your child to not feed at night, the better for you. I took long to do this and it was hell. You guys, this one is for the city moms, guys. Okay, not just the city moms, but really this is for everyone. If you decide to go out, if you decide to go out for a birthday dinner, especially in the early stages, especially in the time that your child feeds a lot, when they are, which I feel is when they are younger, before they start solid foods. If you decide to go somewhere, carry a pump, because like I said, it will feel like a headache on your chest. Just, if you know you're not going to be home at the time that you usually feed your baby, carry a pump. If you're going to dinner, carry a pump. If you're wherever you're going, just carry a pump. I learned this on my birthday. I went out and I did not carry a pump, and literally even the top that I was wearing stopped fit. It stopped fitting because I'm sure you can guess the rest of the story. You know, it was just it was a disaster. It was so uncomfortable. It was so painful, and yeah, I should have carried a pump. Like I think halfway through the dinner I would have just stood up and be like, guys, I need to be excused for like a good 15 minutes. Go pump, and then you are now free to live your life normally as you should have been living before, you know. Still on the topic of milk supply, stressing about not making enough milk will just make you produce less milk because you are then stressed. So try not to stress. Try to just remedy it by trying to breastfeed more, and then the supply will eventually go up. But stressing about not making enough milk, stressing about whether you're not feeding your baby enough, will make your milk even go down more because you are stressed. So try to stay away from stress. Try to not stress about what's stressing you. Which all goes to say, guys, watch out for your mental health, because, you know, being in a good state of mind is very important for you to be able to feed a baby. You're literally, you know, feeding another human being. So being in a good state of mind is very, very essential and helpful to you breastfeeding your baby. And one last thing I'd like to say is you actually might need to switch up your diet. This obviously doesn't happen for everyone, but yeah, you might need to switch up your diet in case your child is maybe allergic to something or just irritated by something that you are eating. This is also something that happens. I saw this one lady. Her child was lactose intolerant and also allergic to soy and something else that she was eating, and she noticed this because there was blood in the baby's stool. And then when they went to test and all of those things, and they're like, oh, your baby actually has all these allergies and intolerances. And then she had to stop eating soy, she had to stop eating dairy products so that she can be able to breastfeed the baby. And I'm like, yo, imagine, like, you have to cut out things from your diet because your baby doesn't accept these things. I had to stop eating garlic. I only started eating garlic, I think maybe a month ago or 2 months ago. I stopped eating garlic because every time I would eat garlic, like every time I would breastfeed after eating garlic, my baby would literally scream. Like he would scream as if he would scream so much, and I'm like, why are you feeding and screaming, and why are you feeding and crying? Like, he would be so sad. He would be feeding and he would be so sad. And when I cut out garlic, everything was fine. So it's possible for your child to react to something that is in your milk, something in your diet, which will reflect through the milk, apparently. And yeah, so breastfeeding could affect your diet, and that's also something that I've learned over my little journey. I could go on and on. I could write a book. I'm literally like pre-made lactation specialist. That doesn't make sense, but you know, I'm like beginner level of a lactation specialist. Maybe I will do this, guys. If you can get like a diploma in being a lactation specialist, most likely I think I can do it, because yeah, I have been researching. I've been on the internet just so the thesis part, all the knowledge is up here. It's all up here. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have anything that you have also just learned from this video, then yeah, let me know in the comments. If there's something that you would like to add for the sake of other mommies that are in the comments, or you know, if you are a specialist in any way and there's something that is important, that you feel is important, that other people can learn from watching this video and from reading your comment, then leave it in the comments for the sake of helping others. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. And guys, since my child is now 1 year old, I feel like I have a lot of motherhood videos that I want to make, to be like, guys, it's been a year. And I feel like, you know, I'm not at the finish line, but I feel like this is a very big milestone for me and for him, obviously. I mean, he's the one turning a year old, but I'm also turning a year old in motherhood, and it's a lot. It's been a long year. It's been a very, very long year. So I think you guys are just gonna have to bear with me, because I'm probably gonna talk about it for maybe the next 2 to 3 videos will be about, you know, mothering stuff, because mothering is a big deal for me. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.